Lots of headlines circulating about Ronda Rousey, the now headlining event for UFC 207 against Amanda Nunes. Sorry for the mispronunciation on one of the other clips. The first of three quotes comes from Dana White, and he said he reveals Ronda Rousey's biggest issue after losing to Holly Holm. This was on Fox Sports Live, and then we're going to get into what Conor McGregor said, some words of wisdom for Ronda Rousey. Quote, the thing people have to understand about Ronda is she is so competitive. Who likes to lose? Nobody does, but she's like the next level. I think she just wanted time, he continued to say later on Fox Sports Live. Her biggest issues, in my opinion, were with the media. She just felt like the media completely turned on her when she lost, not abandoned, but felt attacked. She felt like these people in the media that she gave 3 years of her life cruising around, giving interviews to, completely turned on her when she lost. And lastly, listen, I've been doing this for 16 years and I've had my moments with the media. The media can irritate you, and if you go through something traumatic like she did with losing and everything else, and you have to listen to some of the things that are being written and said, I get it. So lots of words from Dana White, the very vocal and media-friendly Dana White, who, by the way, I'm going to make one point before I'm curious your thoughts on this, Francis. The media and the UFC is the best example of a two-way street for any sport.
Oh, no doubt.
Without the media, the UFC never grows into what it's become today. Without the UFC, the media doesn't have nearly enough things to talk about outside of the fight game itself.
Exactly, and I think he's paying homage to that. You need to have both sides of the game. Like, without the media, Conor McGregor's a really exciting fighter, but he's just a fighter. Like, so without the media, he doesn't get the ability to be like, who the fuck is that guy?
Would you think that without the media, and this is such a biased view,
I know exactly the
we're
question,
in the media,
and I know it.
Is Conor McGregor and I was going to say, like, is Conor McGregor and I'm trying to think of a good example here. Is Conor McGregor and Tyron Woodley at the same status of stardom?
I think at a certain level, yes, because like, right, so again, and even more so, you then start to put people like Donald Cerrone so high because he's such an attractive fighter to watch, like the way that he will alternate his combinations, and he's aesthetically pleasing to watch. There's so many fighters like Daniel Cormier probably wouldn't even get on a card if there wasn't media. Because if you're just basing it on the numbers trying to draw people in, you would need to rely so much on the excitement of a fight.
He wouldn't be a headline championship fighter. He's a championship fighter regardless.
He's a likable guy.
Yes.
He's very enjoyable with the way that he carries himself in the media. And I think that when you partner that side of it with the fighting sense, that's when you get your superstars. Like, you won't get a superstar unless they can grab a microphone and talk. And that's why Conor McGregor is leaps and bounds ahead of most, because he can talk better than he can fight, in my point of view. But
did the media turn on Rousey, though?
I think they did. And again, this is the same thing. The media would turn on Conor McGregor if he failed. The media would turn on anyone. The media turned on Anderson Silva when he broke his leg. He didn't lose because his strategy and his game plan was all over the place, or he got knocked the F out. In that fight in particular, he broke his leg. And it was like, there was still that way that, all right, is he done? It's past his prime. Like, and it ended up turning out that it was actually kind of true.
Could his medically repaired leg hold up against fight A, fight B, fight C?
Yeah. When you're as big as what Ronda Rousey was at that point, at the top of the stardom, the just a complete master of that division, the master of women's MMA, you are expected to be excellent at all times. And when you're not excellent, they're going to tell you. It's not fair. By no means is the sport and the media industry fair, but every single person that's been at the top will tell you that your downfall is a lot more substantial than what it takes to get to the top.
Conor McGregor, who, by the way, anti-clown, for those who've been following.
I've seen that in the sport.
The creepy clowns following around. Pro Ronda Rousey.
Slap the head off him.
Anti-clown, not pro-clown, anti-Rousey. Anti-clown, pro-Rousey.
Nice.
I'd tell her to go shut them all up now. Shut them all up, go and stake your claim again. I wish Ronda nothing but the best. It's good to see her back, he continued. Some people take defeat and losses a certain way. You see how some fighters take losses. I'm happy she's ready to go again, and I wish her well. End quote. That was the two Sports Illustrated in a phone interview. That's where that came from, picked up by Uproxx and a few other sources. Standard. I mean, he obviously respects and admires Ronda Rousey. He wouldn't have said those things if he didn't. The only other way would have been if he didn't like Ronda Rousey. He'd been like, it's not for her. It's not. Can you do it, Conor McGregor, for me?
It's not for her.
Yeah.
For her. But the point that he made is the most valid one, is that everyone takes a loss in a certain way. Conor McGregor took his loss and then wanted to bounce back as quick as possible, right? So he wanted to come back and fight Nate Diaz and right the wrongs. It worked out for him. It might not have worked out for Ronda Rousey. She might have came back. And the thing is, she didn't take that loss simply physically hard. She took it mentally the hardest. She was contemplating her life at one point, her decisions, what she was going to make, what choices she wanted to kind of give up the sport that she's known to go and just pursue a normal life with her partner at that time. Conor McGregor definitely took a mental hit when that, but he didn't take it so much so that he was contemplating the way he was going to go about the business. He was like, I need to bounce back. I need to obviously alter my game plan. He was thinking about it within the octagon, not outside of it.
I agree with that. I don't think Rousey handled it well at all. I think it sounds like an excuse. She handled the loss really poorly, so she needed time. So it's not necessarily an excuse. I just think that if that's what's going to happen if she loses again, or we might not see Ronda Rousey.
I think she loses again, she's out.
Or she could be out, based off what we know. Like, I don't imagine Ronda Rousey being a fighter who, if she were to lose against Amanda Nunes, and I can't stress you enough how, like, terrifying of a fighter and the striking ability, which, don't forget, is part of the reason Ronda Rousey lost to Holly Holm, and Amanda Nunes is a terrific all-around fighter. This is not a gimme fight. This is not a fight that Ronda Rousey, I think she opened up as a favorite, which should be wrong.
I was actually surprised.
I believe that that's the casual perspective. I think Amanda Nunes is the better fighter. However, they have different strengths in the situation. If Ronda, again, gets back to her ground game dominance, she'll probably come out on top. If it goes any which way like it did against Holly Holm, she's in for a rude awakening. So if she were to lose again, based on what we know, that I think you're right. That's probably it.
I think so.
But if she wins, get ready again for the most dominant women's fighter of all time is back.
Yeah.
And that's what you're going to see pretty much to close out 2016 and open up 2017, because we don't know. She might go on another 5, 6, 7 fight win streak. She might dominate the women's division again. That's the best part about the UFC, I think, altogether, and how the media handles it. It's extremely unpredictable.
Especially this division.
Yeah.
She lost to Holly Holm. Holly Holm
belt.
comes in, loses to Miesha Tate. Miesha
want a
Tate
belt?
comes in, loses to Amanda Nunes. Belts were being handed
You want
out.
a belt?
and
You get a belt. You
I
get a
don't
belt.
think
You
there's
get a
any fighter in the industry at the moment, in the women's, including Cyborg, by the way, who everyone's thrown around there, that she would want to fight less than Amanda Nunes at the moment, because that's exactly what she fell victim to against Holly Holm. Just crazy striking ability, aggression, and I think Ronda's in for a very, very tough task. I would put Amanda Nunes the favourite, and I think if Ronda Rousey loses this one, I don't think she'll come back.
Interesting. Will she be back? Lots of words about Ronda Rousey. Is it the media's fault that she ran for, or she went into, I guess, hiding in a way, or focused on other elements of her life for about a year, more than a year? It will be more than a year when she steps back into the octagon, because it was in November of 2015 that she lost to Holly Holm. It's been that long. And also Conor McGregor coming up to her defense. Ask Conor McGregor anything, he'll give you an opinion. Clowns, anti. Floyd Mayweather still wants to fight him. Ronda Rousey, wish her the best.
Jason, who else is going to try and ask Conor McGregor a question? And by emphasis, the try, because it's going to be a circus out there. We're going. UFC 205. There you go. UFC 205, Madison Square Garden. We are heading out there. So maybe if you're there, just as a fans.
Be looking for Melo's locker.
Yeah, Jason's going to be. I'm going to have to pry him away from the locker room. He's going to be getting in there with these.
Look where I'm
juju.
sitting.
You're going to get in there with those like weird ritual things to try and spread positive vibes. Bless the locker room.
Oh, I will. Have you ever seen the movie Major League?
Yeah.
He opens up his locker and he's got like
ritual things.
sanctuary to Buddha. Well, comment below, like, favorite, subscribe to the channel, goes a long way. @ Friends_Maxwell, JasonRuby91 on the Twitter, everything else in the description below. We'll see you next time.